Well, I'm an actress. I've been a working actress basically since I was 10. I was on my way to set one day in 2014 and a man rear-ended me. And my seatbelt didn't lock and the airbags didn't deploy. And so my face hit the steering wheel and kind of exploded. And my life was changed forever. You don't really think about how in a split second everything can change. But living with the consequences of what somebody else did to me was more difficult than I could have ever imagined. And living with PTSD and the physical changes that have happened, in particular, knowing that my career was over because of no fault of my own was it was hard for me to wrap my head around, and hard for me not to be angry and frustrated, and for the post-traumatic stress disorder, for it to be so intense and prevalent, and for me being a fiercely independent person since I was very, very small, for me to start needing the people around me for absolutely everything was new, a new concept. Me needing an attorney was a new concept. It was not something that I had ever needed. And all of a sudden I needed everything from everybody. And me and my niece and nephew were 3 and almost 2. They would come in and say goodnight, and they would have to kiss me on the hand because they couldn't touch me. They couldn't touch my body, my face. I couldn't move. And they would just kiss me on the hand. And there were times dealing with the severe depression and the suicidal thoughts. There were times where it came down to seeing their little faces. I just wanted my sanity back. That one day I'm going to get married, and that's not the face that God gave me. And that's not even the type of person that I am to really think about things like that. But it was like so overwhelming. And sitting in Ben's office for the first time, I think about it in hindsight, and I'm like, oh man, I mean, he has to be part therapist in order to deal with these crazy people that come in and are just absolute disasters. It was the worst moment of my life. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. It was the darkest. It was darkness that I never knew existed. And here's sweet Ben. He was very warm and very understanding, very compassionate. He really listened to me, and I think the fact that he has children and he has a daughter, I think it resonated with him, when I was talking about my future and the things that most girls want for their lives, and the fact that I had worked my whole life to build this career and that someone would take it from me. I thought that he really understood that. He knew, and I felt like he was looking at me like I was his daughter, and if my daughter were going through this, what would I do, and what would I say, and all the advice that he would give me, and when he would counsel me, I felt like it was really coming from an organic place, because I really feel like he put himself as a father in the shoes of a daughter. Ben was always there for me, and I would like to believe that I'm not all that difficult, but that time in my life, I can only imagine that I was incredibly difficult because I wasn't myself. I didn't know who I was anymore. And you're going through this, and it's a full-time job. But Ben was very patient and was always willing to answer whatever probably crazy question that I had.
I'm very proud of Anna, and I'm very proud of the result that we were able to get for her in this case. No one would go through what she went through to be able to get a large settlement. Everyone would rather just have it not happen. But that's outside of my control. It's not something that I can bring back for somebody. But hopefully with the recovery that we got, financial concerns, Anna's not going to have to worry about how she's going to pay the bills while she tries to get her acting career back on track.